Hi everyone, I am Geetu from GMR Elevate. Hi kids, how are you all? So today I am here to share a lovely story to you all. Okay, so what's the name of the book? It's Horrid Henry Football Friend. So today I'll be sharing the first chapter of this book. Watch the space for more videos. So let's read the first story today. There's this diary that Peter used to write, and Horrid Henry peeks at Peter's diary. So, see, there's this illustration where Horrid is seeing Peter's diary. It's a lovely book. Let's read through the story. And parents, you can play this video for your kids. Thank you. Horrid Henry peeks at Peter's diary. What are you doing? Demanded Horrid Henry, bursting into Peter's bedroom. Nothing, said Peter, shutting the diary, slamming his notebook shut. What happened? Yes, yes, you are, Henry. Get out of my room, said Peter. You're not allowed to come in unless I say so. Horrid Henry leaned over Peter's shoulder. What are you writing? None of your business, said Peter. He covered and closed the notebook tightly with his arm. It is to my business if you are writing about me. It is my diary. I can write what I want to, said Peter. Miss Lovely said we should keep a diary for a week and write in it every day. So here, this child is writing a diary and the other child is peeping into the diary. Let's see what goes ahead. Boring, said Henry, yawning. No, it isn't, said Peter. Anyway, you will find out next week what I am writing. I've been chosen to write my diary loud for my class assembly. Horrid Henry's heart turned to ice. Peter read his diary out loud, so the whole school could hear Peter's lies about him. No way! Give me that, screamed Horrid Henry, lunging for the diary. No, screamed Peter, holding on tight. Ma, help. Henry is in my room. And he didn't knock. He won't leave. And see, they are pulling the diary and they're starting quarreling. Okay? So what is happening next? Let's see. Shut up, Tattletee, hissed Henry, focusing Peter's fingers on the diary. Mum, shrieked Peter. Mum stopped up the stairs. Henry opened the diary, but before he could read a single word, Mom burst in. He snatched the diary and he told me to shut up, wailed Peter. So Peter is telling to Mom, this is what happened. Henry, stop annoying your brother, said the mom. I wasn't, said Henry. What happens next? This happens at times in our homes also. Let's see the exciting story. What is going on next? Okay. Yes, Peter said. And now you have made him cry, said Mom. Mom asked the child to say sorry. I was just asking about his homework, protested Henry innocently. He was trying to read my diary, said Peter. Henry, said Mum, don't be horrid. It's his private diary. Now leave your brother alone. It was so unfair. Why did Mum always believe Peter? Horrid Henry stalked out of the room. Well, no way Henry is waiting until class assembly to find out what Peter has written. So what happened is Horrid Henry is very, very excited to know what is there in the diary, what has he written, and then he started taking the diary and they started fighting. Let's see what happens next. Sneak. Horrid Henry checked to the right. Horrid Henry checked to the left. Mum was downstairs working on the computer. Dad was in the garden. Peter was playing a goody Gordon's house at his friend's house. At last, the coast was clear. Any idea what happened next? Let's see. He had been trying to get hold of Peter's diary from days. There was no time to lose. Tomorrow was Peter's class assembly. Would he mention Sunday's food fight when Henry had been forced to throw the pasta at Peter, or when Henry had to push Peter off the comfortable black chair and pinch him? Or yesterday when Henry banished him from the Purple Hand Club and Peter had screaming to the mom that this is what Henry has done. So see the Peter and Henry, they are like here at the chair that I just mentioned. Okay, so what happens next? A lying, slimy worm like Peter would be sure to make it look like Henry was the villain, when in fact Peter was to blame. So Henry is thinking that he must have mentioned this in the diary or that in the diary. So he's thinking about all these incidents. What happens next? Even worse, horrid lies had Peter been making about him. People would read Peter's ravings and think they were true. When Henry was famous, books would be written about him, and someone would find Peter's diary and believe it. When things were written down, they had a horrible way of seeming to be true, even when they were big, fat lies. So, this is what is happening here. Henry sneaked into Peter's room as no one was around and he shut the door. Now, where was the diary? Henry glanced at Peter's tidy desk. Peter kept it on the second shelf, neat next to his crayons and trophies. The diary was gone. Rats! Peter must have hidden it. That little worm, thought Horrid Henry. Why on earth would he hide his diary? And where on earth would that smelly toad hide it? Behind his good as gold certificates. In the laundry basket, underneath the stamp collective, he checked Peter's socks drawer. No diary. So he was checking the whole room, the whole study area, and he was not able to find the diary. Okay, so see, so you can see there are other illustrations here. So what all is Horrid doing, and finally then he searches and searches and he finds the diary. Let's see how he actually gets the diary. He checked Peter's underwear drawer. No diary. He picked up Peter's pillow and under Peter's bed. Still no diary. Okay, where would I hide a diary? Thought Horrid desperately. That I'm not able to find where Peter has hidden it. So let me think, if I was there at that place, where would I hide the diary? Okay, where I hide the diary? Thought Horrid desperately. Easy. I put it in a chest and bury it in the garden, and with a pirate curse on it. Somehow he doubted. Perfect Peter would be so clever. Okay, thought Henry. If I were an ugly toad like him, where would I hide it? The bookcase? Of course. What better place to hide a book? Henry strolled over Peter's bookcase with all the books arranged neatly in alphabetical order. Aha! What was sticking out between the happy nappy and the happy hippo? So finally, in the shelf, in the bookshelf where all the books were arranged, he found the diary. What happened? Got you, Horrid Henry said, yanking the diary off the shelf. At the last, Peter's secrets. He made him cross out all his lies if it was the last thing he did. Horrid Henry sat down and began to read. So see, Horrid is sitting and he's began to read the diary. Finally, he's got it and he had so many thoughts. So there's this picture that shows about the diary. So I'll just read one diary entry to you. Let's see what has Peter written. So there's this lady with stars around and it says Monday. I drew a picture of my teacher, Miss Lovely. Miss Lovely gave me a gold star for reading. That's because I am the best reader in the class and the best at maths and the best at everything else. This is what Peter has written. Then it says Tuesday. Today I said please and thank you 236 times. Wednesday, I ate all my vegetables. Thursday, today I sharpened my pencil and ate all my sprouts and had seconds. Okay, so this way Peter has mentioned so many diary entries. Okay, slowly and slowly, Horrid closed the Peter's diary. So he was reading the diary, and when he read these are the entries, Horrid closed the diary. He knew Peter's diary would be bad, but never in his worst nightmares he had imagined anything bad. Perfect Peter hadn't mentioned him even once, not once. So it was Peter's diary, and Peter has just written about himself. And Horrid had so many thoughts about kya hoga, what will be there. So that was not there at all. You would think I didn't even live in the house, thought Henry. He was outraged. उसको लगा कि मेरा तो जिक्र ही नहीं हुआ है, मेरे बारे में तो बात ही नहीं हुई है अभी तक. So Horrid was like, what is this? How dare Peter not write about him? And then all the stupid things Peter had written. Henry's name would be mud when people heard Peter's diary in assembly and found out what a sad brother he had. Everyone would tease him. Horrid Henry would never live down the shame. Peter needed Henry's help and needed it fast. Horrid Henry grabbed a pencil and got to work. So see what he has done is, he's got the diary, and whatever Peter has written, Horrid started writing more things there. So he added. So let me read one example to you. So today when Peter wrote, today I drew a picture of my teacher, Miss Lovely. See what Horrid has added. I drew her with piggy ears and a great big giant belly. Then I turned it into a dartboard. So Miss Lovely is my worst teacher ever. She should really be called Miss Lumsy. Miss Dumpy Lumpy is what Gordon and I call her, and she will never know about that. So whatever he has written, Peter has written, Horrid started writing all these things in the diary. Let me give you another example what he has done. So where Peter wrote, today I ate all my vegetables, what has Horrid actually added to it? Then I sneaked the box of sweets from my sweet jar and I lied to Dad about it. I am very good liar. No one should even believe a word I say. Henry gets the blame about everything and it's always my fault. Bapre. So he has written so many things. Okay, let's see one more example. Today I wrote a poem to my dummy. I love my dummy. It's my best chummy. It tastes so yummy. It is so scummy and I love my dummy. So this is what Horrid has done to Peter's diary. Okay, so what is next? Let's come back to the story. Much better, thought Horrid Henry. Now that's what I call a diary. Everyone would have died of boredom otherwise. Henry carefully replaced Peter's diary in the bookshelf. I hope Peter appreciates what I've done for him, thought Horrid Henry. The entire school gathered in the hall for assembly. Peter's class sat proudly on the benches at front. Henry's class sat cross-legged on the floor. The parents sat on the chair down both sides. Mom and Dad waved at Peter and he waved back to them shyly. Miss Lovely stood up and see what is happening. So Peter is finally there to present what is written in his diary. Let's see what happens. Any guesses? So Miss Lovely stood up and said, "Hello moms and dads, boys and girls, welcome to our class assembly. This term our class has been keeping diaries. We are going to read some of them for you to know. First to read will be Peter. Everyone pay attention and see if you too can be as good as I know Peter has been. I would like everyone here to copy one of Peter's good deeds. I know I can't wait to hear how he has spent this last week." So teacher was so excited to listen what Peter has written. Peter stood up and opened his diary, and in a big, loud voice, he read, Monday, I drew a picture of my teacher, Miss Lovely. Peter glanced up at Miss Lovely and beamed at him. And imagine what is he reading. Any guesses? Look what is happening. So this is Peter and he's reading and everyone is around. And let's see what is he reading to everyone. I drew her piggy ears and a great big giant belly. Then I turned it into a dartboard. What? It was always difficult to read out loud and understand what he read, but something didn't sound right. So what happened is when he started reading, he read the first sentence. He read the second sentence where Horrid had already done all the editing. And he was like something was not right and he was not able to remember. What happened? He didn't remember writing about a pig with a big belly. Nervously, Peter looked at Mom and Dad. Was he imagining it, or did their smiles seem more like frowns? Peter shook his head and carried on. Miss Lovely gave me a gold star for reading. That was better. He must have misheard himself before. Miss Lovely is my worst teacher ever. She should really be called Miss Lumpsy, Miss Dumpy, and Miss Lumpsy. Thank you. That's quite enough, interrupted Miss Lovely. And the whole school started to laugh in shrieks of laughter. Her face was pink. Peter, see me after the assembly. Ted will now tell us about skeletons. And the teacher was so shocked of what Peter has done. She was praising Peter so much. And she said, okay, you meet me after the assembly. And she called the next child. But, gasped Peter. I never. Sit down and be quiet, said the head, Mrs. Oddbot. I'll see you and your parents later. So see what has happened. Wah, wailed Peter. Mom and Dad started at their feet. Why had they ever had children? Where was a trapdoor when you needed one? Wah, whimpered Mom and Dad. So both parents are feeling so bad and see they both are like shocked, like what has our child done? Naturally, Henry got into trouble. Big trouble. This was unfair. Why didn't anyone believe when he said he had improved Peter's diary for his own good? Honestly, he would never ever do Peter a favor again. So Horrid this, and he was like, I have improved Peter's diary, and this is what happened. So this was the first chapter from the book Horrid Henry and the Football Friend. So please like, comment and share this video and watch the space for more for the second chapter. So the total there are 4 chapters in this. We have finished the first chapter. Let's enjoy reading this lovely book, and I had so much fun in these moments. But remember, what is one thing that we learned here? We have to do 2 things. 1, start writing a diary. And second, are we supposed to edit anyone's diary? So give it a thought, kids. Fun is there, but then remember the harm that just happened here to Peter, right? So remember to start writing your diary and watch the space for more for the second story. Take care. Bye-bye.